I was just putting it in there just in case anybody wanted the YouTube. All right, let's see here. Excuse me. All right, let's see here. All right.
I may not.
Sorry, just 1 second, guys. Excuse me. All right, so let's see here. So let's just go over major indexes. We'll go ahead and full screen here. All right. Make sure I add that to my watch list. Okay, so starting with the Qs, we saw a substantial rebound today and correction. I've noticed this quite often on certain indexes like the Qs, that they're bouncing off their linear supports and not quite holding. Like today, like I would have never expected, especially after breaking 2 trends. And although, you know, this trend was also caused by, you know, the Fed meeting, but the Qs carry on, and right now I still have the target on the Qs of 347.50. At that point, I think we might end up hitting a roadblock, certainly with, you know, I think investors might find themselves looking back like, oh, the market's at all-time highs and inflation is too. So, but who knows? Anyway, the Dow, basically that rounded top that we talked about last time on the Dow, definitely playing out. You have an EMA crossover to the downside on the hourly, definitely propelling this one. But the Dow is now at, if you pull this horizontal ray and line this support, it is right there, just a couple points away from its major support. So you may see tomorrow, considering that the Dow, excuse me, is rejecting its 9-day moving average here, and it has followed that 9 and 20-day moving average. So you may see a rebound back up into the 340.20s, or you may even see a retest back down at the 335.80 level. So The Dow, I think, is one that you should probably set your alerts on, because when that starts moving, you're going to want to know, because CAT, BA, certain stocks like that have just taken an absolute beating. But that means that there could be a good chance to buy back in. So let's see, the Dow. So SPY, this one I am not convinced at all that we are out of the woods. And one of the reasons why, and I know it looks like it's V-shaping, but it also looks very much like a bear flag. And one way to identify this is, you know, if you're not familiar, you can look at it inverted and say, okay, you know, does that look like it's going to bounce? Like, look how many buyers, or in this case sellers, are sitting at this level trying to keep this up. So if it does end up reversing, I'll check Bitcoin in just a second. Yeah, so this one, not quite out of the woods, but it does look like we could see, let's see here. It does look like we could see another retest of the 429. So definitely holding up today. A lot of wicks. So we'll see. So let's look at. I can never recommend how much Bitcoin, or how much AMC or any stock that somebody should buy. Bitcoin, unfortunately, this was stayed in trend with my analysis. This one looks like it's making a rounded top, so I would kind of hold back on that one. I would wait for it to either bounce at this 3750 support, or you have this 3500 that you could end up retesting. Excuse me, yeah, 3500. So. Anyway, back to our ETFs. Where'd they go? There they go. So anyway, SPY kind of looking like a bear flag. Does kind of look like it could take a spill back down into the 418s, where it would likely hit support again. And then let's see, IWM. All right, so IWM, this one we saw a ton of put flow for this one yesterday. So if anybody took those puts, you were definitely in the green today. This broke a major support. You can see right here, broken, and then a simple retest of the 9-day moving average. So we'll see if we actually get a bounce and continuation out of this pattern. Let's see here. Yeah, the high volume today here on this bounce, so could be a lot of shares changing hands. This one kind of making a bear flag as well, but definitely a super strong bounce. So you can see that bounce level is right around here. Okay, so now that we got the ETFs covered, let's take a look. ABML, if you're looking for a stock, I would recommend. Yeah, ABML, that's one that one of our admins signaled. Also, let's see here on IWM, it looks like, yes, you might be in the early stages of a falling wedge. So you may see IWM rebound tomorrow, kind of spurring penny stocks as well. So keep an eye on that one above 228. Okay, so let's look at, right off the bat, we had a lot of really crazy movement today. Of course, NVIDIA is one that needs to be looked at for sure. I'm not sure if this all happened. It looks like it did. Wow. So, wow, that's a massive sell order. Right here, it looks like in pre-market, a lot of the times when you see these market maker wicks, you'll see continuation to the downside. So if anybody's watching NVIDIA, it looks like, yeah, so it looks like right here is actually our support. I don't know what that thing's doing. But we have this support right here, and you can see that it is consolidated really heavily here. So you may see some downside on NVIDIA tomorrow. Although if this was truly buyback, like if they really did buy these shares back up, that shows that there is an immense amount of people willing to buy the share at that level. So taking a downside position, if the market's going down, it may be smart, but anything other than that, I would probably lay off. Today's movement on NVIDIA was insane. Insane. You don't get this every day. We hope for this all the time, but it's not what we get every day, and so we try and take advantage of it. Contracts going from $2 to $22, or basically $200 to $2,200. So Manny's hot. Why are you hot, Manny? You own an air conditioning company. So yeah, I would watch. I'm setting alerts on NVIDIA at 747.85, and then I would set an alert here. Looks like that's 743. Obviously 75 is going to be a psychological number, so that's where we bounced off of today. I'll take a look at CRSR. Yeah, sure, we'll look at, I'm going to go ahead and cover some stocks here, but I'm going to dig into MaxR really quick here. So those of you who follow us on Twitter, or follow my Twitter is PotterStocks. But I posted this one a while ago about how MaxR had a massive cup and handle on the daily, and with that I signaled this one right around the 50-day moving average, and we have made a substantial movement, and we also filled our daily gap. But with that being said, we finished the day with an inverted hammer. So there is a chance that we could see some continuation to the downside on MaxR. It did, like I said, hit my level of 41. There is a gap that needs to get filled there to 42.80. Long term, though, I think MaxR is a great equity buy, and it's one that I'm going to hang on to until we get into the 50s. So that one is like 50. The price target right now for analysts is 55, which is the previous all-time high. So we're not going to get a straight line there, but we could see something like an inverse head and shoulders. So we could see a pullback down to the breakout level on MaxR of 36, excuse me, and then potentially make a massive inverse head and shoulders, especially. Shut up, Manny. Especially with the way things are kind of shaping up here. I love MaxR. It's one that I'm going to be holding equity in, like I said, but it's also one that I'm willing to hedge just as easy. So tomorrow, it's pretty easy. We have a pennant on the hourly. So what we're going to do tomorrow is take it below 39.50. I might even utilize some weeklies as they're cheap. They do move well once they go into the money, but then at the same time I may go out until June 25th and just take a put against my shares, so that way I can just collect that revenue and play it to the upside. I don't really like doing the covered calls. I'd rather just buy the shares myself, but I bought the amount of shares that I wanted, so I'm not looking to utilize those. But yeah, so pennant, basically just watching this one. I have alerts on 40.60, which would confirm a possible breakout, and then of course I have one at 40 and 39.50 to play this one to the downside with the target of 38.20, and then eventually settling, I think, around the 37. level, and maybe even a gap down the next day to 36. So so we'll do CRSR. Oh, whoops, CRSR, and then I'll get back to my playlist. Okay, so CRSR today looks like it tried to pull back on the hourly and it already filled its gap. So you had a very small gap here. That gap got filled and it flatlined at that gap. My cat is going bananas right now. Let's see. So you see right there, that level, that's our breakout level. Of course, it has the attention of Wall Street bets, and has now made itself an easier target to short because it has not continued or had the same momentum it did when it was first initiated that buy spell. So you can see right here, it looks like, yeah. So right here on CRSR, you have what looked to be an attempt to break downtrend, and that's coming off of these highs here. My opinion is, and I'm going to draw this support line as well. That's right on the money. Okay, so my thoughts are, if you fall here, your target to the downside where you could hedge is going to be 31.30, right? If you pull or zoom out a little bit, and you pull a support line right here, so you see you got a major support here where the stock price settles. So if it does pull back, you see that is almost perfect timing for CSAR or CRSR. So if you have a leg down tomorrow, it will likely drop. I don't want to say like sound bad, but like it could drop pretty hard. I'm trying to adjust my supports a little bit here. Yeah, so I would say 3165, 3150 would be a good bounce spot. So it could look something like this. So if I pull my path, so drop down here, and then seeing that this is a falling wedge, you could see a bounce out. Obviously no straight lines, probably see a little bit of resistance at that 50, but hopefully that's what you would see out of that falling wedge on CRSR. So, and I'm being generous too with the bodies too, because if I pull this down like that, you can see that it just ended up continuing to fall. So, all right. I thought somebody just called me Jimmy Neutron. That's hilarious. All right, so let's see. Have you folks considered a non-premium growth or community sample? I am on Discord. I guess it's easier for me to see you chatting if you chat on YouTube. Yeah, if it's on TradingView, I'll chart it. I do TA on anything. Let's look at pins. So pins was actually signaled by Top Shelf in our Discord today, or I believe even it might have been yesterday. Super duper clean bounce and break. Surprisingly, this one making what looks to be a pretty big round bottom, and has another to finish filling the gap here. It looks like the gap is finished at 76.40 or 50. So it still looks like it has a little bit of juice left in it. You can see the volume picking up a good bit. Multiple EMA crossovers. Let's see what is the whole ribbon? Yeah, my whole ribbon indicators showing the momentum has shifted and is picking up. So I think you could see the gap get filled, but I would be out of that trade at 76.50. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Microsoft. Really strong rebound today. We saw that yesterday on the 4-hour. We bounced off of that 50-day EMA, which has been a relatively strong support for Microsoft. This one could end up making a cup and handle, as it has that bottom look here, or if the market does end up pulling back, yeah, interesting. That's a really good point. So Top Shelf says Friday and Monday not good historically. About 22 years in a row, Larry Williams always calls the June swoon. Oil the put cannons. There you go. So it does look like we may get we may see a trip up to 62.50 for Microsoft, and then there is a chance that we double top there, or even start a handle. So watch for a pullback. You can see that on Microsoft the moving averages are pretty far behind, so that means that there is going to be a retest at some point. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, we're gonna go over Apple here. So if anybody has been watching my Apple breakdowns videos and stuff like that on YouTube or on TradingView, I talked about, obviously, what the conditions. Obviously, SPY is not looking that great. This looks like basically Microsoft, and just in a kind of lagging behind. So because it's up against this major and holding the 131 resistance, you can see here on the daily or on the 4-hour that we made multiple long-legged wicks here, showing strength on the buying side. So definitely a chance for Apple to go hit 133 tomorrow. That is the next major resistance that I see for Apple, and then above that, I think that if the market, I don't see Apple past 135, and so we could see and think of it as like a way for these guys to make money to the upside, and then when they flip their position and the market pulls back, you have that setup. So Apple is technically, yes, out of that daily triangle here. You can see we've been tracking this for a while, especially since this bounce down here. And so we're up and out, but obviously we're going to need to see continuation. On the 15-minute here, drawing my support, you can see we're finishing with what looks to be a little pennant, or a little symmetrical triangle. So right now, expect a bounce, a break past and hold of 132.25 with volume like we saw today, and you should see Apple go and break that 132.50. Obviously that's another big resistance if we don't end up gapping up. If not, I think, and these type of wicks here show me that sellers are ready and waiting. Yeah, let's look at skills. So let's look at, let's go to the 4-hour here. All right, so I imagine off of DKNG news, maybe potentially we saw that drop. Oh, yes. Okay. Hold on, my guy. Oh, Jesus. All right. guess my cat's here now. Meow. Yeah, well, let's look at Roblox too. Oh my God, Toothless, stop. Okay. Yeah, hold on, my guy. Quit pushing my hands. It's hard. If you guys see my mouse wigging out right now, it's my cat pushing my hands. Okay, so looks like you are bear flagging under resistant or underneath this 200-day moving average here. You can see it's definitely well respected. Right? So normally when you see this kind of stuff, Toothless, stop, my guy. Yeah. Let's see here. So, oh my God, Toothless, chill. All right. So there's your downtrend. It looks like, you are bottoming out here a little bit, but it looks like you just are barely tapping this resistance right here. So if you draw that up, you can see that is right up against resistance. So a break and hold above 19, and you could start to see a rebound, a break and hold above 1971, and I would like, 1980. And then I think that you could call, yeah, my cat's name is Toothless. Maybe he is giving me a cat. We'll look at cat too. We just talked about the Dow rebounding, so we'll chart cat. And my son named my cat for obvious reasons. He has no teeth. No kidding. So I would just go ahead. Pretty simple on this one. Let's look at the daily. You did have a cup and handle. It looks like it broke out of that. But like I said, you're at the 200-day moving average. You're definitely in need of a rebound here. And I would put let's see here. That right there, sorry to kind of break thought, but that right there is what you see when shorts are very present. So you see buyers stepping up and shorts let it fake out and they pull it right back down. And then let's see here. Oh man, my it's all messed up. Yeah, so I would just say market linearly with your your entry potentially above 1975, 1980, and then a short entry below this really strong support on skills at 1850. So, all right, let's see here, FUBO. I'm just kind of sprinkling my watch list in this while I take requests. All right, so breakout on FUBO today, hard retest, but buyers holding this above, and you can see here also. So this is what we may see. Do your job and catch that fly, my guy. Anyway, so we may see this FUBO price action kind of dip into support here, and you can see that this resistance and support kind of converge here. So we might have a little pocket here if we get a strong bounce, and I'm going to mark that at, it is, if we get a bounce at 29.35, right? So 29.35. And you get a lot of volume, then we could see one more leg up and a shot at 30.75. Other than that, I think that if you break this support, that you could see FUBO back down in the $27 range. All right. So figs. Oh, nice. Hell yeah! Look at that. Did you take that today off of those levels, by chance? Honestly, I don't know. Also, if you guys want to sub to or just hop on our YouTube, you guys will have a better look. It's a little bit easier to see. It's just simple, same as the TikTok. So anyway, yeah, nice break on figs today. Nice job. No, you're not the only sucker holding snap. I'm sure there's a lot of people in that position. I saw a lot of flow. So let's see here. All right, so, and I'm actually going to set an alert of figs at 37.22. Okay, so, yeah, yo, leaps are the best. So let's look at AHT. That was a request. I actually have this one charted already. Look at that. So not to confuse anybody, but there is within a channel like this, right? There's going to be what is called a linear deviation. So what that means, it's literally just the middle line, right? So you basically divide the channel resistance, the distance between resistance and support, and you get this channel. There's actually indicators that do it for you. I do believe TradingView has these channels as well. I don't use them because I just hand draw my own. But we'll take a look at Ford. But you can see here, it's basically settled at this resistance after really, really strong rejection at the 583 level. So what time period is a leap? So for a leap, for me, it's going to be at least 6 months to a year. Can I check run? Yeah, for sure. We'll look at run. This is the 1 hour chart. So you can see here holding this channel that I drew 2 days ago really, really well. The daily chart is here, where you can see a wonky support. Let's go back down to the 4 hour. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so this is the daily chart. So here, I actually talked about this yesterday. If this stock bounces and hits that same level and rejects again, that's going to make a head and shoulders, and that's bearish, and that's likely going to have you breaking below $5, and you'll likely see this thing start trending down to 4. If it does end up breaking above the 585 level, then it should trend up. So APPS. Hold on, dude. My cat really wants to leave. Yeah, I know. I love you. All right. All right. So APPS. Okay, so apparently, oh man, hey, listen, yes, Kenneth, he trades a lot of each silver. He's a silver guy in our chat. So I actually already have this one set up. God damn it. Let's see here. So massive cup and handle on this one here. It looks like on And we actually, yeah, I think I was talking about this one to somebody today. These are really terrible trend lines. I was just kind of giving somebody a rough example, but let's see here. There you go. So that's APPS. A lot of wicks. So market conditions may be holding this one back. Anywhere below 69, and we're in some trouble on that one, but it does look like it could end up bouncing tomorrow above 70.50, and with some good volume, I think that this one may have a breakout in store. Let's check RUN. Hold on. Wrong button. All right. Alright, so Sunrun. This one, did we already talk about this one? Because I already have it charted. Oh my god. Look at these lines. Just holding it. Yeah, so it looks like we got the resistance right at that level that I've marked at 50.50, and then ended up ripping with volume out of that. So strong, a big downtrend channel here on the 4 hour, and it looks like it may have the next resistance or target around 57.60. I haven't talked about trade desk, no. So Ford. So Ford, with the really wonky price action today, and in pre-market we had a huge spike, and then a absolute dump fest for the remainder of the day. This one, I think, looking at this downside pattern here, you can see right there, I would just wait for confirmation. It does look like, I guess you could, yeah, extended its wedge. So there, this pivot right, or excuse me, I think that's just a symmetrical triangle, but this triangle here will likely reject, and then we could see another leg down to 1560. But on the contrary, Ford had, and we'll go look, Ford today had $15 calls come in for today and for next week, or excuse me, for July. A ton of midterm, like $6.25, $14 puts, $15 calls, $6.25. So pretty mixed, but mostly bullish on this one. So this is all happening here towards the end of the day as well. So I would imagine that looking at the daily time frame here, that you may see a bounce at 1450. If not, there's a gap to fill on Ford all the way at 1389. So maybe at 1389, you could look to set an order there, because that could be where you see the next bounce. So, all right, let's see here. TD. Oh, Roku, or excuse me, Roblox. Roblox is in the gulag. Pumped and then just dumped today. Not looking super good quite yet with this type of movement here. What am I doing on 5 minute? All right. Sorry, I just had to take a peek at this. So, below the 8250 level, we're likely going to see one more trip back down on Roblox to 8050. Now, that's where we could see a double bottom on Roblox. But other than that, this chart is kind of screaming more downside with all of the wicks that I see here. So in my opinion, I think Roblox may have a little bit more pullback in it. So I have alert set here at, yeah, let's see here, 8250. Yeah. All right. And what else do we have? TD, trade desk. Oh, excuse me. Oof, I'm tired. I got the wrong one. TTD, that's right. I forgot the trade desk. Alright, so what do we got? Is the split already initiated? Yep. So looks like I already had this charted as well. That's pretty sick. So it's always nice to already have the chart up. So pretty simple here. You were filled a gap today. That was the rest of the gap was filled, and you finished above it, which is always bullish. You had decent volume, and so right now I would say the trade desk passed this 200-day EMA, which is at, I think that's 64, basically 64, and that would have it breaking downtrend. If that ends up being the case, I could see trade desk back up in or back into the $74 range. So all right, but you have a nice channel here. I would just keep that channel up. All right, Baidu. How did Baidu finish? Stupid. All right, guys. Any other requests? Yeah, of course. Amazon. It's starting to slow down a little bit. Let's see, it slapped 347.97, so just barely rejecting that 3,500 level, not quite getting there. Let's see, big volume though at the end of the day, huge finish as far as volume is concerned. So honestly, looking at the daily time frame, it's pretty obvious why we saw a rejection. You can see that we're up against a relatively strong resistance, and so we're going to need a lot of volume, which we're getting right around this area in order to take your next leg up. So do I think AMC is going to go to 100? I have no idea. I think looking at where the buyers are going to take it, I mean, it's as long as they don't sell. Of course, Alfredo. Thank you for being around here, man. Thanks for the support. 3D, Georgie, has a really, really awesome flag right here. Ooh, I'm getting sleepy. So if you see this DDD flag setting up right here, 4 hour. Hold on, I just had a alert. Yo, after hours traders. Watch Nobi in KNBN or BE. It's at 30.25 right now. All right, I'm shutting it down. Sorry, I just got an alert on that one. I don't know why I got it up here at 30.25. But damn. Run. I just did run. If you want to rewind it a little bit, I just went over run. So we got DDD. Keep your eyes on this ticker though. Damn, the thing has ran from $17 to $30. All right, guys. As far as tomorrow, I'll be watching Apple long, of course. I'll be watching Microsoft just for a short tick up. And then I'll update you guys on the remainder later on. So, all right, guys. You guys have a good afternoon or good morning, wherever you're at. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you just rewind it. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm like, my eyes are so heavy right now. I just got like a huge wave of sleepiness. About to go night-night. Thanks, Nick. Love you guys too. You guys are awesome. Fish sticks. Morning soon in Hong Kong. Are you in Hong Kong right now, Derek? Come pick me up, my guy. All right, guys. Oof. Bet. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Peace.